In this demonstration, you are logged on locally with a user account that has administrative privileges. In Exercise 1, you create a custom MMC console containing the group policy snap-in and then use it to configure the minimum password length, which is one of the account policy settings for your computer. Then you test the minimum password length to confirm it was correctly configured. To create a custom console, click Start, click Run, type MMC in the Open box, and click OK to open an empty custom MMC console. To add the group policy snap-in, on the File menu, click Add or Remove Snap-in, and then click Add. The Add Standalone Snap-in dialog box appears. Click Group Policy, and then click Add. The Select Group Policy Object dialog box appears, which allows you to point the MMC console containing group policy at the local computer or at a remote computer. Allow the focus of the group policy snap-in to be changed when launching from the command line. This only applies if you save the console. This checkbox allows you to configure the MMC console so that you can decide on which computer you want to use group policy when you start the MMC. Click Finish to leave group policy with its focus on the local computer, and save the console with the name Local Group Policy. In the Local Group Policy console, expand Local Computer Policy. Computer Configuration and User Configuration are listed under Local Computer Policy. Expand Computer Configuration. Under Computer Configuration, expand Windows Settings. Under Windows Settings are Scripts and Security Settings. Expand Security Settings. Under Security Settings, expand Account Policies. Account Policies has two nodes, Password Policy and Account Lockout Policy. In the console tree, click Password Policy. In the Details pane, right-click Minimum Password Length and then click Properties. Windows XP Professional displays the Minimum Password Length Properties dialog box. In the Password Must Be At Least text box, type 8 to set the minimum password length to 8 characters, and then click OK. Close the Local Group Policy MMC console. A message box appears in which you indicate whether you would like to save the console settings. Click No to close the message box and MMC. You are ready to test the minimum password length. Click Start, click Control Panel, and then click User Accounts. Under Pick a Task, click Change an Account. Under Pick an Account to Change, click User 81. Under What do you want to change about User 81's account, click Create a Password. In the Type a New Password and Type the New Password again to confirm text boxes, type Water. Click Create Password. A user account's message box indicates that the password does not meet the password policy requirements. Click OK to close the user account's message box. In the Type a New Password and Type the New Password again to confirm text boxes, type Hot Water. Click Create Password. Under What do you want to change about User 81's account, the Create a Password option has been replaced by the following two options: Change the password and remove the password. When you tried to create a password less than 8 characters in length, it failed. When you increased the password length to 8 characters, it worked. You correctly configured the minimum password length account policy to 8 characters. Close the window. Close Control Panel. This completes Exercise 1. In Exercise 2, you configure and test some additional account policy settings. Open the Local Group Policy Custom MMC console you created to configure account policy settings so that users should have at least 5 different passwords before they can use a previously used password. Which account policy setting do you use? You use the Enforce Password History setting and set it to 5. The second account policy setting you will want to set will cause a user who changes his or her password to wait 24 hours before he or she can change it again. Which account policy setting do you use? You use the minimum password age and set it to 1 day. The third account policy setting you want to set causes a user to change his or her password every 3 weeks. Which account policy setting do you use? You use the maximum password age and set it to 21 days. Close the Local Group Policy Custom MMC console, and you are ready to test the account policy settings you just configured. Log off Windows XP Professional. In the next portion of this demonstration, you are logged on as User 1. Change your password to Eggplant. Why were you successful? You were successful because the minimum password length is set to 8, and there are 8 characters in the word eggplant. Change your password to Chocolate. Why were you not successful? You were not successful because you must wait 1 day before you can change your password a second time. A Change Password dialog box appears, indicating that you cannot change the password at this time. Close all windows and log off. This completes Exercise 2. In Exercise 3, you configure account lockout policy settings and then test them to make sure they are set up correctly. In this exercise, you are logged on locally with a user account that has administrative privileges. Click Start, click Run, and then in the open text box type MMC and press Enter. Open the Local Group Policy Custom MMC console you created. In the Local Group Policy console tree, double-click Account Policies and then click Account Lockout Policy. Use account lockout settings to lock out a user account after 4 failed logon attempts. Which account lockout setting do you use? Set account lockout threshold to 4 to lock out a user account after 4 failed logon attempts. When you set one of the 3 account lockout options and the other 2 options have not been set, a dialog box appears indicating that the other 2 options will be set to default values. Next, lock out user accounts until the administrator unlocks the user account. Which account lockout setting do you use? Set account lockout duration to 0 to have locked accounts remain locked until the administrator unlocks them. Finally, try 4 times to log on as User 4 with a password of Chocolate. Try a 5th time to log on as User 4 with a password of Chocolate, and a dialog box will appear, indicating that the account is locked out. Click OK. This completes the exercise and this demonstration.